All right, welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
That's Pope Gary to you. There
Ah,
are no Pope Garys, are there?
I don't think there
I
are.
don't think there are any Pope Garys, or even Cardinal Garys. There could be a Cardinal Biggles.
How about Cardinal Fang?
Yes,
Cardinal Fang.
or maybe Cardinal Richelieu. If you're a Cardinal Richelieu imitator.
Yeah, so the Pope is going to be having a simulcast on June 14th.
June 14th.
June 14th.
Isn't that the day of Trump's big parade?
It is indeed the same day.
Hope it doesn't rain on his parade. That'd be terrible to manifest rain on his parade.
Yeah, if only you could pull the Hierophant card. So it's called competing programming.
Yeah, almost. It's In some ways, it is because the Pope is doing his simulcast. Was it like 2:00 Central Time, or it was supposed to be? Basically, he's going to start his sermon like 5:00 Eastern Time. It's going to go until like probably 6 or 6:30, assuming it's an hour to an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. And then Trump's one big beautiful parade starts around 6:30 Eastern Time, and right now the weather forecasts would indicate 70% chance of rain with thunderstorms.
Late in the late afternoon, early evening currently.
Whee! So
you have a choice. You can watch a world leader who couldn't be bothered to actually serve in the military and actively sought ways to get out of being in the military, honoring himself and the military because he's a big, strong man and he wants to show everyone how strong he is in a dictatorial sort of way. Or you can watch the guy who's basically promoting joy, happiness, and love.
Well, it's not like you have a choice. The Pope's reading happens first, then after the Pope's done, then it's Trump's thing. So it's continuing programming, not competitive programming. But let's put it this way. It's like kind of going from Jeopardy, where you're getting the sophisticated, high level energy messaging to Trump. Following it's like Wheel of Fortune for Dummies type of thing.
It'd be like
all the vowels are populated and all the words have STR, N, and M in it, and that's it.
It'd be more like one of those reality TV shows where they have a 2 tons of manure and there's a gold ring in the middle of the manure somewhere, and you just got to keep digging the manure out until you find the prize.
Yeah.
Good
luck with that.
Yeah, if I know which one I'm going to tune into.
Yeah, you're going to watch the manure digging because that's
the kind of
guy you are,
right? All right, so let's take a look at this for entertainment purposes only.
Always.
So let's just say how.
See, I don't understand why you gave me a deck that you can't even shuffle yourself.
Oh, you can show me how it's done.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So let's take a look at the energy over the Pope's simulcast. How is it going to be received? And I guess we could also ask what Trump thinks about it. But let's just look at the general energy around.
By the way, his deck is like 50% thicker than a normal deck of cards, and his hands are not 50% bigger than hands.
They certainly are not. Okay. The foundation reading is 6 of Cups. Hey, how about just being kind to people?
Yep.
The message: be kind, be thoughtful. As Dave mentioned, serve. Do unto others how you would do unto me. Right? The least. What's your to the least of my brothers? That's what you were saying. How you treat the least of my brothers. Right? The cross, the challenge is Dave kept pulling this card on on the military parade. The challenge is how in the United States, the oligarchs and Trump and MAGA are taking all of the things of value and just not giving anything back. They're not giving back what they take. You're supposed to serve instead of self-deal and self-serve. Underneath it, the energy, the strong emotions. Someone had asked the Pope if he had a message for the United States, and he said, "I have many." And
I was about to ask, I'm wondering if what you're getting here is his actual messaging.
It could be.
I would go with that. Run with that and see where it takes you.
It's sure feeling like that, right?
Yeah.
The energy underneath is the Ace of Cups, the amount of emotions and how people are being hurt. We want to feel joy, but right now we're feeling we're afraid, we're sad. And it's not just the Democrats and the people who are being attacked. It's also MAGA because they're constantly being fed fearful news. Even with the protests in LA, apparently they were showing like videos from the 2020 protests where they were setting cars on fire. And they were just inferring that was part of the current protest, and that's not the case at all.
Yep.
In the past, you've got the Knight of Swords, rash actions, rushing into things without a plan, just being unduly harsh. If we're going with what his messaging is, you don't need to rush into things and be unduly harsh. Be considerate before you attack. Think about it. Current energy is the Two of Cups. Yeah, I think you're right, Dave. I think this really is kind of his message.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's about building relationships, fulfilling promises, looking to the future on how bright the future can be. It's just like when you're in the beginning of a relationship, how everything is good and everyone wants to work together for the best of the other person. It's kind of like that kind of messaging, getting back to it. Overarching energy is the Seven of Pentacles. It's time to really stop and assess what you value and what's important to you.
You might wonder if he brings up the poison bush bears bitter fruit.
Maybe
messaging in there.
The lesson to be learned is the Six of Swords. Just deporting people and sending them away isn't fixing the problem. So people who overstayed their visas, people who are undocumented, they came here for a reason. A lot of them were trying to escape oppression and violence and drug gangs, a cartel in their home country. There's a better way. There's a better way to address this. But it's going to take a lot of work.
Yep.
We've got a lot of work ahead of us. There's a lot of damage that needs to be undone, a lot of fences that need to be mended. But it's a big burden, but we can get it. This is the end of the action. We can get there from here.
Oh, it's not much of a challenge if it's easy, right?
Yeah.
You could even bring in the thing about Christ, bore his own cross type of thing, but I think he might stay away from that. I think he's going to go more. I suspect he's going to go more with the poison bush bears bitter fruit type thing, and don't have hatred in your heart where you can be of service to others. Will his message resonate with his audience? And apparently, he's trying to target young people with this. The Catholic Church is, if it's not for immigrants, it's dying off. So, will his message resonate with young people? And there we go again, Six Cups. Same one that you had. It is a message to young people. That, when you take care of others, you're taking care of, this is again what you do to the least of my brothers, you do unto me. It's the ultimate message in sharing your prosperity with others, and it's all about integrity. There's always good sides and bad sides. There's duality in this material plane. There's good and evil. There's light and dark. There's benefits and consequences with it. He's going to be an emotional leader with this, or maybe comes across as an emotional leader.
Oh, there's our King of Cups, huh?
Yeah. Worldwide. So this could be, the King of Cups could be representing the Pope here for future reads. Just throwing that in the back burner there. I think his message is going to be worldwide, received worldwide. I mean, it's targeting young people, but it's young people around the world. It's time for young people to stand up and take action, go forward with your values. There's a certain generosity that he is seeing with young people that may come to manifest. How interesting. Yours was that in the past. Mine going forward, it's the word crusade came to mind when you pulled yours. This could be the new Crusades, but instead of being it, I'm going to kill you because your God's different than my God. Maybe it's I'm going to come help you because your God is different than my God. Or they're basically, if you ever do a comparative religion, it's amazing how similar all the religions are around the world.
Yeah, and the messaging is typically quite similar too, which is just essentially be kind to one another, be thoughtful, be generous.
The messaging is not beat the crap out of somebody because they worship a different religion than you worship.
Yeah,
kind of funny how that works.
I was kind of being taken to task.
Well, that's about damn time.
On one of the readings that I had done where I was saying, or maybe it was a live event where I was saying, people came to the United States from Europe to escape religious persecution. And there were a lot of people that were saying, well, actually, the Puritans came over and persecuted the hell out of everyone else that came over. Well, what was happening in Europe at the time was every religion basically believed that theirs was the correct religion and
still do.
Yeah, and that no other religion could be tolerated. So that's why you had all these, people trying to enforce their will, their religious beliefs on other people. And that's why people were coming over to the United States, but they just, some continued to carry those beliefs as opposed to having tolerance and acceptance that maybe someone can see something different than you.
Your statement wasn't so far off. I mean, that's pretty much what we were taught in school. Now, if some people have more education on it and can tell you that this is a little bit different than when you're taught in school, that's fine. I will say this, though. Brought to you by a TikTok video, but it's insightful. It wasn't like, they were sending over the people that they really valued in their society. Australia was a penal colony. So rapists, murderers, political prisoners, and things like that were sent to Australia. And in the United States, they kicked out the people that were rabble rousers, all the ultra-religious people, the undesirables were sent to the United States.
Yeah.
You didn't leave England if you thought life was grand there. You had if you were a lord in England with your mansion and all this stuff, you didn't leave to go strike out a new life as a frontiersman. That wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So, for just sort of kind of smile to yourself when it says, "Yeah, I've got relatives that came over on the Mayflower." Okay, that's maybe not the flex you think it is.
Exactly. I was just going to say the same thing. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned when you were doing your reading how when you saw the Knight of Swords come out and you're like, the word crusade came to mind. Because I had the same thought. It's like, yes, this is like, in the past we had these crusades, just go and attack and kill and maim and
maybe that's it. Maybe it's like an undoing of the Crusades from centuries ago.
Yeah.
Instead of racing out to other countries to slaughter those who. And let's face it, we learned in history the Crusades were never about religion. It was about wealth, power, and such. Dressed up as a religious crusade.
Yeah, holy war.
Yeah, exactly.
Funny how things don't change much, huh?
Yeah. And hopefully what I'm seeing here with this one is a new crusade, but in the way of higher spirituality and helping others as opposed to destroying others.
Yeah, when we read on Pope Leo, we keep getting that King of Cups, or when we have kind of tangential reads, the King of Cups comes up, and I feel that like that's his card.
That might be his card. Maybe he plays a bigger role in society than we first expected.
Yeah. I want to know how Trump is going to feel about Pope Leo's address, especially because it may upstage his little military parade.
Melania Trump? Okay, go on.
Yeah.
How's Melania thinking about Pope Justin?
Okay, so how's Trump feeling about Pope Leo? Well,
I don't think he is.
It's raining here in DC.
Yeah.
Why is it not raining in Chicago or in Rome? It's
just I'm going to throw something out there. One of two things before you go too far into it. One, he's too mad about his own parade not turning out. But two, I'm wondering if he's going to be mad that the Pope scheduled his sermon just before the parade, thus delaying Trump's parade and making it in the rain, if that's what happens.
Yeah, it could be. The thing that strikes me about this card, there's two things when we talk about the parade. One, look how pathetic this parade is looking.
Mm.
And two, it's like, you get the Five of Pentacles, everything's warm and comfortable on the other side of that stained glass. But, the people out there in the parade are just miserable. And so how is Trump feeling about this? So this card has a lot of feeling to me. Okay, cross is the Eight of Cups, just people not caring and walking away.
There's your outcome card.
Yeah, that was the outcome card. That's the challenge he's got. I think if there is rain, it's going to dampen the attendance.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants a big show, right?
Yep.
The energy underneath is, I want my parade.
The parade must go on.
A big military parade. I mean, if you had a tarot card that was going to be a military parade, I think that's about as good a one as you're going to get. In the past, you got the Five of Wands, the Chaos, the Argy-Bargy card. Just it's like nothing is going right for him that day. So instead of maybe June the 10th being Trump's bad day, it may be June the 14th. Nothing seems to be going right. The current energy on how he's feeling about it. Maybe we should have picked a different day. I'm not very happy with how this is turning out. The lesson to be learned is that Eight of Wands, I had that in my little four-carder.
What if he wants missiles? There's no missiles. No missiles or flyovers.
Yeah, or like I said, fireworks. Because especially even if the parade goes off, if you've got like rain, your fireworks display is completely blunted, right? Or maybe there's messaging coming out that he isn't happy about it. And here's the card that you were getting. So the outcome on how he's feeling about it is Temperance. He's not getting what he wants. It's not what he wants. He's going to get. It's something that he's going to need to take a balance, or maybe they're going to have to fix some little cocktail at the end of it.
Maybe he just needed a nice, quiet, calm evening.
Yes, he could go home and his loving wife could pull off his shoes and give him a nice foot rub, and then
watch him shrink 3.5 inches.
Probably more than that. 3.5 inches from what? His official doctor?
Yeah, no, he's
under 6. That man
he's got some major lifts in those shoes. to try and get him close to 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, it's like I pointed out when he's with the Saudi crown prince. The crown prince is 6 foot tall, and Trump was shorter than him. No matter how you looked at whatever angle, at best they were the same height, at very best. But every picture I saw, it's like, nah, he's a little shorter. Mm-hmm. And I think you were saying that the New York police had him, what, 5'10"?
Yeah, the reporting was New York police had him at 5'10", 287 pounds, which
I believe it.
I believe it. That sounds about right, actually.
Yeah, he is definitely not 230.
Yeah, no. Nor is he 6'2.5", 6'3".
No.
All right. Thank you everyone for watching this video and supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell. We'll wake you up at midnight Pacific time every single night with a new video. Leave a comment. I'll read them all and respond to many.
And unlike the other second brands of Twintaro that try to knock down brand leader this Twintaro channel, we do things to stay the market leader. And what is
yes,
it?
we are the super absorbent tarot.
Yes.
And that's what you really need to know. We give shout outs to our super absorbent listeners. So I wanted to give a shout out, a thanks to Maureen O'Brien, who gave a kind contribution to our channel. Thank you so much, Maureen.
You get that.
What card did you get? Was it the Hermit? Okay. And then Isa Hernandez made a very generous contribution to the channel. Thank you so much, Isa.
What card do you think it is?
I'm going to say 2 of Cups. Nope.
Oh.
Ace of Swords.
Da, da, da.
Oh, yeah. Isa's got a truth for all of us.
Exactly.
And then why did I do this one?
I don't know. It's right there. It's just hovering.
Well, we're just going to give a shout out to Deborah Babar, who said she wanted us to do a reading on the June 14th, which we did, which came out the day before.
It's an 8.
It's an 8. I can say 8 of Cups. That looks at 8 of Cups.
It is. Well played. Guess that card.
And that's all I've got on my list.
Well, there you go. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We hope to catch you on the next video. Take care.
And make sure you have a nice balanced diet. Make sure you get your beer and your pretzels. That's
exactly. I was going to say coffee in your Twintaro, but beer and pretzels works too.
Beer and pretzels, that works for me.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye.